Hi everyone, and welcome back to Composer of the Month. Today's episode will be featuring the acclaimed Fedorova&Takser Piano Duo in our conversations about Nikolai Kapustin. Nikolai Kapustin was a Russian composer, arranger, and jazz pianist. He is known for his fusion of the classical and jazz styles. His works include piano sonatas, concertos, numerous ensemble pieces, and his famous concert etudes. In 2012, he wrote his Triptych for a Japanese piano duo. However, this piece was never published until 2024. Recently, the Fedorova&Takser Piano Duo recorded the Triptych. This duo is comprised of Daria Fedorova and Ilya Takser. This talented husband and wife team has established themselves as one of Canada's most exciting and innovative piano ensembles. With a repertoire spanning classical, jazz, and contemporary music, Daria and Ilya have captivated audiences worldwide with their breathtaking technique, interpretation, and infectious passion for music. As accomplished performers, educators, and advocates for new music, they have premiered numerous works by contemporary composers, including Nikolai Kapustin and Alexander Rosenblatt. Here's our interview with them. Hello, thank you both for being here today.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hello, Nina. Yeah, thank you for having us. It's a pleasure to see you and speak to you.
I'm very excited to talk to you today about Kapustin's Triptych, which he recently recorded. Can you share the story behind how you obtained the unpublished manuscript of the Triptych?
Sure, with pleasure. Actually, it started with a coincidence because we are classical musicians, we're classically trained musicians, and we always mostly focusing on classical music repertoire. And at some point of your life, you start to think how you can spice up your repertoire. And we started to seek for jazz or for crossover music. And we came across music by Alexander Rosenblatt, who was unknown here in Canada. And we loved music so much, and we decided to
include it into our concert program.
Yes, his concertino, and we performed this, and the concert was recorded, and he discovered this recording, and he contacted us, and we started to we basically established good relationships, I would say friendship with Alexander, and it was couple of years before pandemics, I think.
Yeah, it was about 2018 or 19.
Yeah, and we just decided, why don't we make record an album of the jazz album, including Rosenblatt works. And he said, I have a better idea. And he showed our recording to Kapustin. And a few days later, we received manuscripts of Triptych and Capriccio for four hands.
For hands
from Kapustin. So he advised us to play it, to give it a performing.
At that point, we already had his Manteca for two pianos, but we haven't played anything else for piano duo, just some solo works. And then we get this special email with manuscripts of Capriccio and Triptych. Triptych was actually written in 2012, but never was published by that time. Yeah. So that was quite an honor.
Shortly answering to your question, we received manuscript by Kapustin through Alexander Rosenblatt.
Yeah, what an honor. That's amazing. And what makes this piece special to you?
Well, that's probably the fact how we received the score. Although it was dedicated to one Japanese piano duo, but was never published or recorded in Americas or Europe, probably somewhere in Japan, but we couldn't find any recording by that time. So that's basically how we started working on it.
Yeah. So how does it feel to be the first musicians to record this work, and what responsibility do you feel in bringing it to life?
It's quite interesting feeling, when you can't rely on any existing recordings. When you start work from the scratch, and all you have is text and responsibility, as you mentioned, given the fact that this music is not what we would normally perform. It took us quite a while to get used to style.
We were going back and forth, learning this music, and then leaving for a while, then going back and just rediscovering things, because it was pretty new style. Also, it's very late work of Kapustin, right? It's Opus 155, which, his language was also improving and getting more complicated. In a good sense, of course, which makes it even more exciting to learn. But yes, it took us a while to
get used to it.
To get used to it, to get the right sense and learn more about jazz music in general. Yeah.
So what do you hope audiences take away from this premiere, and how do you envision it contributing to Kapustin's legacy?
We don't think about how it will contribute to the legacy of Kapustin. We like the music. We tested it on our friends, on our students, and people adore the music. That's the most important. It's basically the only thing we were thinking of, just to deliver this text in the best we could,
and let people explore it
and enjoy.
It's incredibly well written, and music is so friendly for all kind of audiences. We believe everyone can enjoy it.
Well, I think that's wonderful. And now we're going to move on to the works of some other composers. Can you share an experience of performing music by a lesser known composer that had a profound impact on you?
We played some music by modern Italian composers like Roberto Piana and Luca Mascardi. Beautiful music. We need to mention that we are not contemporary music aficionados. We don't, even if we include music written by contemporary composers, mostly it's post-romantic style or modern style, I would say. So we lean towards tonal music, and as soon as it's beautiful and makes sense,
it has a melodies.
we perform it with pleasure.
Yeah, for sure.
And are there any other challenges that you face in performing music by lesser known composers or modern composers?
Actually, again, since we pick music that has some sense to us, we already eliminate this, hard process of learning something that, it's interesting to explore new music, new style, especially if there are no recordings and you're quite free in your mind from any kind of interpretations. So that's actually lots of fun, I would say. Couldn't say challenges, but
no, I can mention challenges. Speaking of Kapustin, going back to Kapustin style, for example, why it took us quite a while to get used to style. As you know, classical musicians treat triplets, emphasizing the first beat, right? So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But if you play Brahms, and we play entire collections of Brahms and Rachmaninoff, so whenever you have triplet, you lean towards the first beat. In jazz, it's opposite. In jazz, and the core of swing is the last beat. So they don't count 1, 2, 3. They count 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1. So it's upbeat, with this feeling of upbeat. It's okay if you play solo piece, but when you're in piano duo and you're trying to make the swing to be synchronized somehow,
kind of
that was the most challenging. Speaking of
Kapustin's
music,
especially in that fast tempo, he was actually extremely virtuoso musician, and he puts this incredible speeds. And then it took us also a while, not just learn it in solo, right, but to match together well in this kind of speed and phrase it together in the same way. So that was
it's fun. It's fun how whenever you read tempo mark in Kapustin scores for the first time,
you think it's unreal.
You think no.
How he could write it down?
Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And when you get used to it, when you really master it, it's just perfect tempo. Yeah. He was very accurate with what he wanted.
That's actually
true. I need to mention that on our recording we tried to keep exact tempo marks that he indicated, because we realized how precise he was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense. And the things that you mentioned about the triplets, those seem very difficult. Yeah.
It's very difficult, yeah.
And some of my last questions will be about your experiences as composers. Have you ever composed music? And if so, what inspired you to do so?
Yeah, well, I have to mention that we've been transcribing things and arranging things for a decade now. We continue to do so. We hope to release our next album, which will be dedicated to Mussorgsky. Mm-hmm. And we have a transcription for 2 pianos of his pictures. And also we will have a few more. I will not reveal all the details right now, but a few more of his master works. Speaking about original music, well, I studied as composer for some time, short period of time, and I had some experiments when I was a student of your age, a little bit older, and then I was not composing for many years, and now it goes back. So now, hopefully, maybe following our Mussorgsky project, maybe we will release some of our original works where I perform mostly as a creative visioner. And Daria performs like Clara Schumann, who just says, no, this will not work.
I'm playing it, and then I'm going to say if it's going to work or not.
Yeah, so we have a very interesting process of writing music together, because I suggest and she modifies, and then we polish this together.
How nice. And if you would compose music in any other genre, which one would you explore?
Well, I really love post-romantic style post-romantic, romantic and post-romantic, I would say, for me.
It gives me the most flexibility, right?
Yes.
Because you can find elements of Baroque music, of classical music in post-romantic. So you're free.
And maybe add some modern jazzy harmonies.
Vibes, yeah. We recently finished a cadenza for a double Mozart concerto for 2 pianos, and we wrote a jazzy cadenza. Answer your question.
Yeah, and speaking of like post-romantic, are there any particular composers from that era that inspire you?
Well,
I would say, talking of if we speak about late Rachmaninoff, for example, or Ravel, yes, it's impressionistic but still post-romantic. One of my favorite composers, I would say.
Sure, I agree. I share this completely. Yeah, Rachmaninoff, we will also play entire his works for piano duo and piano duet. It's incredible level of wisdom. Musical wisdom, and it's very interesting. Recently, we performed symphonic dances, which was originally written for orchestra, and later transcribed by Rachmaninoff for 2 pianos. It's incredible work. It's just
he's great pianist, and also how he manages both parts for 2 pianists.
Yes.
It's just fantastic. There is every single note is well thought, deeply thought. Same actually in Kapustin's music. It's incredibly well written.
It's true.
Everything makes sense.
By well written, by well written, we mean that when you manage 2 instruments together, it's pretty difficult to avoid crossing or doubling the registers. So it's easy to cross it in a way that, let's say, the middle becomes too heavy, and then the edges stay a little bit off.
Yeah.
And Kapustin and Rachmaninoff, they never do that. So when they write music for two pianos, they have this 3D model, and they well feeling which pianist is playing where, and it never cross. If it cross, it's intentionally, it's blending and then growing to big climax or something.
Or, for example, how some parts and elements are transferring from one piano to another seamlessly, and you just have to catch the sound of each other. We love it. We love it, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's so true. Well, that's it for our interview today, but thank you so much for your input, and I'm excited for this video to come out soon.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Nina.
Thank you, Nina.
Thank you.